Everyone has catfished at least once. In a chat room.
Chat rooms were an insane concept. Stranger fucking danger. To me, love is absolutely conditional.
Yes. I don't care if it's your grandma. Cut that bitch off. Women need to submit to you.
To what? What bill are you paying? What house are you building? Why aren't you lost at sea? Hey guys, welcome to Too Personal. I'm Joy Taylor. Thanks so much for joining us. If you haven't already, make sure that you hit subscribe. Fun show for you today. My girl Kamie Crawford is stopping by. She is a podcast host of Relationship. She has amazing merch, by the way. She's a host, a model, and just an all-around amazing person. I'm very excited to talk to her. And of course, we'll get to Never Too Personal later on in the show because we love hearing from you guys. And if you want to send in a question, you can do that at twopersonalpodcast@gmail.com or on Sundays on IG. Make sure you follow us on all our social media pages at Too Personal Show. So I wanted to start with a conversation that I've had publicly many times, unfortunately. And it's out there in the ether right now because of the Diddy trial. And I don't really want to get into the details of the trial or who I believe or don't believe or, you know, what the gruesome details or salacious details of it are. I really don't have an opinion on it. What I do have an opinion on, though, is domestic violence. And I'm a multiple-time domestic violence survivor. I grew up in an abusive home, and I have, unfortunately, a lot of experience with a lot of the conversations that are out there right now. And the first time I talked about domestic violence was the Ray Rice incident. I was doing Miami radio, and I had never talked about my experiences publicly before, but I started to see the tide turn on the situation to people asking why she had stayed and, you know, what would compel somebody to be in that situation. And it became a toxic victim blaming situation more and conversation more than asking why would someone be abusive or why would someone not be able to control their temper in that situation or why would someone feel comfortable putting their hands on a woman. And I'm starting to see that kind of same narrative out there now because of this trial. And again, this isn't about Diddy or Cassie or anyone else that's in the trial. I just want to have a conversation about the idea of staying in an abusive relationship and why that happens. You are not with someone you don't have a relationship with. There is a very big difference between assault and abuse. If someone walks up to you on the street and punches you in the face, you're not then going to date them because they've assaulted you. If you are with someone for an extended amount of time and they have told you that they love you, you live with this person, or you're in a deep relationship, an intimate relationship with this person, you trust them with your money, you trust them with your body, you are around their family, and then they have proceeded to start to deteriorate your confidence by picking at you, separating you from your inner circles, making you distrust people that will be honest with you, and then they hit you, that is abuse. And it is not as easy as you think to have someone that you were intimate with and trust and love betray you and then apologize in the most dramatic fashion to help convince you that they are going to change and they really just need your help and they can't do it without you. And all of these things that are pulling at every different part of your emotion while you're in shock that you have been attacked. That is not the same thing as assault. That is not the same thing as a person that you have no emotional attachment to causing you physical harm. So when we talk about abuse, when we're talking about domestic violence, when we're talking about sexual abuse, when we're having these conversations publicly, I just encourage people not to default to why did the person stay or why was this person in this situation? And yes, every situation may be different, which is why I'm not speaking specifically to this case and what may come out of it. And is this person compliant with what was going on? I'm not getting into all that. I'm talking specifically about the conversation that always comes up whenever domestic violence hits the cultural waves. 41% of women and 26% of men experience sexual violence, physical violence, or stalking by an intimate partner in their lifetime. One woman or girl is killed every 10 minutes by their intimate partner or family member. Globally, every 10 minutes, a woman or girl is killed by their intimate partner or family member. 60% of all female homicides are committed by an intimate partner or a family member. This happens all the time, all over the world. Different levels of economic status. It doesn't matter your race. It doesn't matter what country, what religion. It crosses all boundaries. And more people than you think have experienced this around you. So I just urge you, when you speak publicly about people that are sexually abused or are physically abused or emotionally abused or financially abused, that you don't default to, well, why didn't you just leave? That makes it harder for people to have these conversations publicly. I've talked about my experiences many times publicly, and it's why I can speak about it so confidently and without the anxiety that I had when I first started talking about it. But it's because, unfortunately, I'm very well versed in how this works. It's not that simple. People don't just walk up to you, punch you in the face, and then you marry them. That is not how it works. It is meticulous. It is manipulative. It is extensive. It is intentional. There is a lead up to abuse. There is a system. There is a narcissistic gaslighting process that deteriorates your ability to make rational decisions for yourself. That is what abuse is. Again, this isn't about Diddy or Cassie or any of the other people that are involved in this case. I just want to talk about the conversations that people are having online about it. Ask questions to the people around you. Do a little bit of research. Watch some interviews from someone who has left an abusive situation. Have some empathy for the fact that this is something that many, many people experience. Not just women, children, elderly people. It's the LGBTQ plus community. There's no limitations to this. And if you want to be an empathetic person, if you want to move the conversation forward, just educate yourself and ask questions. It doesn't always have to be accusatory, especially in these situations. And then you wonder why people don't feel comfortable coming out, why it takes decades to tell the truth. Why wouldn't it be? Why would you want to deal with being blamed for the abuse that you experienced? It makes no sense. So that's my piece on domestic violence for this particular chapter. And unfortunately, I'm sure I'll have to have the conversation again. All right, it's time to talk to my friend, Kamie Crawford. Welcome, Kamie, to Too Personal. Very excited to have my amazing friend, Kamie Crawford, on Too Personal. She is a model, a pageant queen, television host, and producer. You've seen her on Sports Illustrated Swim, looking fabulous, serving space, serving body. Yes. She's known for hosting Catfish, the TV show Are You the One, and X on the Beach. And of course, she has an amazing podcast, which she has been kind enough to have me on, called Relationship, which releases new episodes every Friday. Kamie, welcome to Too Personal.
Thank you, Queen.
Thank you for coming by and hanging with me. We always have great, fun, illuminating conversations.
Yeah, very illuminating.
Yes. We met at the Sports Illustrated Swim event.
Yes.
In Fort Lauderdale, which was really fun.
Why does that feel like so long ago?
I think it was so long ago. I think it was like 3 years ago.
That was my first year. So yeah, 3 years ago.
Oh, that was your rookie year?
Yeah.
So, and you've done everyone since?
Everyone since. I haven't been asked to shoot this year, but you never know.
What are those shoots like?
Insane. Literally, I say that every single woman on this planet should be able to have one of those photo shoots at least once in their life. It's like, I went into it, obviously, having a pageant background and thinking that everyone was going to be terrible because that was my experience. Like, pageant people, it's
terrible in regards to like the production or how they treat you or everything. How they talk about your body.
Everything. The girls, like I didn't know how the other models were going to be. Like, I just thought about pageantry, which tends to be like the most beautiful business with the world's ugliest people. For some reason, like terrible people attract themselves to pageantry. Not me though. But I just assumed that it was going to be like catty or, you know, I didn't know. And once I got there, I knew immediately this is not like the others. This is not the same. They are the most encouraging people. Like, you're on this beautiful island shooting somewhere in the tiniest bikini you can find, and you have nothing but women standing behind the camera screaming your name, telling you how gorgeous you look. You're so hot. You look incredible. Like, yes, that's it. Jumping up and down for you. Like, I feel like every woman deserves to feel like that.
I love that. And my experience with them was the same. All the girls are amazing.
Yes. So
sweet,
nice.
kind people.
Yes.
Everyone is very positive and supportive. MJ is incredible.
Incredible.
And the diversity of bodies and age and looks is what I love about it, because that is what people look like.
Yes, exactly.
We don't need to keep putting out this idea of bodies, and I don't even say women's bodies, like just bodies that are unrealistic. Everybody has a thing, and everyone is truly beautiful in their own way.
And even when it comes to the retouching, like they will ask you, do you want anything retouched? Is there anything that like you're uncomfortable with that you don't want to show the world basically in this magazine? And you can say, I don't want to be retouched at all, and they won't retouch you at all.
Really?
Yes.
I've always felt like there hasn't been a lot of retouching, because when you're in the business, you know when something is like, okay, listen, like, I know what this person looks like in real life, like, with all due respect. Take the face app one down, just down.
I know a
two.
Kiss 5
Go
when
down
I see
two.
one.
Go down 2. We all love Kiss, but you need Kiss 1.
Kiss 1,
you
2
can't
if it's
do
an
Kiss
emergency.
4. You can't do Hollywood 4.
Yeah, no. Stop. We know you didn't have a smoky eye. Come on now, girl.
Definitely. And listen, no judgment, but like, we gotta go outside.
We wouldn't know. We wouldn't be able to talk about it if we didn't know.
Of course. But we also have to go outside, and we also have to do these. I love that, like, the filter thing. When people yell about filters, I'm like, babes, we do television shows.
Yes.
You know these cameras are very expensive. What they don't come with is face app. So whatever the fuck you're looking at right now is what the fuck I look like.
Thank you. And that's why I tell people when I get like crazy hate comments, I'm like, it's okay to say that I am as perfect as I look. It's okay. It's okay. You don't have to, like, when people are like, this, you know what, I just can't stand all this makeup. But I'm like, no, I actually am this beautiful. And it's okay to be upset about that, but it's not okay to lie.
Kamie is a great clapback queen. You should follow her on TikTok. I used to clap back on the internet. I have since retired many years ago from what was really a sport for me.
Yeah. I
Twitter, Elon took that from me, because Twitter was my platform for smoke. And when Twitter died, so did my desire to clap back. But you keep it going on TikTok.
I keep it going. I keep the flame alive.
You do. And it's brilliant. And I'm glad you brought that up, because, well, first of all, Kamie is as beautiful as she looks on social media and on every show she's on. She is fucking stunning.
Thank you. I don't lead with that, though. I'm very, very humble and very kind. But when people take me there, that's when I have to, bring it up.
Fuck being humble. You're right. Listen, God knew what he was doing, okay? He said a little extra sprinkle on this one, and fuck everybody. Like, listen, favor isn't fair. The fuck are we supposed to do about it? So she is that beautiful. But the makeup thing drives me insane. So I was telling the crew earlier before you came in that I was recently on vacation, and I never ever get to not wear makeup, because I do a daily show.
Yes.
And this is obviously very inside baseball, but everyone on television has makeup on. The guys do too. It may not be a full beat, but they have anti-shine. Sometimes they do have a full beat, but like most of the time it's just an anti-shine, which is a form of makeup.
Yes.
And they have to, because these are lights. It's not a normal selfie camera situation. These are very expensive. They're getting into your pores. It's not about changing your face. It's about, if I just come in here without any makeup on, you're not going to be able to focus on what I'm saying, because I will look crazy.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that I'm not naturally beautiful, which I am.
Hello.
But this is a different situation. It's a different setting. I don't know why I have to explain that to people. It's weird, but that's how it goes. There's whole departments for this.
This is the thing that I want people to understand. If you are going on national TV or international television, would you want to go on there with no makeup on and no hair and no brush?
I don't know.
Please be so for real.
I don't know what people think about.
They'll never have the opportunity.
But
So it doesn't matter.
it's not in everyone's path. But what I will say about it is it's a necessary thing to get there. But when we're talking about makeup, I have to wear makeup every day. You have to wear makeup every time you go on air, so on and so forth. So I got the opportunity to not wear makeup, which was just
the best.
Amazing feeling for me, which I don't get to do. And yes, it is part of my job to wear makeup. But you get these comments on social media. And I just find the makeup conversation and the naturally beautiful conversation to be so stupid.
It's tired.
It's so tired. Who gives a fuck if you wear makeup?
Girl.
When did this become a thing? Guys, we have to pick a fucking lane.
No.
We cannot bust on people for looking busted and then be upset when people wear makeup and then talk about how people need to be natural. But then when they're natural, they have no lips. And then when they have lips, is it fake? And then if they're not fake, then you're like, make up your fucking mind.
Yes. And for me, it's also the men who comment things. Like if I post like a makeup video of me putting something on and I get a comment from a guy who's like, or sometimes women too, and they're like, you really don't need that much makeup. You really don't need. I really didn't ask you. I don't remember actually posting this and thinking, what does user 5789110 think about my makeup right now? I actually didn't think about you at all because I have no idea who the fuck you are. This is a daily thing for me, and sometimes I'll like write it out. I've really actually discovered the delete button and like backspace. I never knew about it before. I used to clap back about every single thing, and sometimes I'll think about it. I'll be like, this is probably not something I should respond to, and then I hit post anyway. Because why would you this is how I see it. I've said this before. My social media platforms are my home. I invite you into my home. If I invite you into my home and you come into the foyer and you pull your pants down, you take a shit on the floor, and you tell me to clean it up, I'm not inviting you back here anymore. No. I want you gone. I'm going to say something to you and I want you gone. So why would you come onto my page and leave a nasty comment, especially if you follow me? Why are you here? You don't even like it here.
Why are you here? Because you don't have to be here.
I didn't force you.
When it comes to social media, it is a very weird phenomenon with social media that people will go to places and then be mad about what it is. Like, you are obviously someone that posts get ready with me's and you post, I love every time you share your lip combos. Thank you. Right? So, like, we the girlies are asking for this content.
Yes.
Okay, from Kamie.
I'm not just posting it
why
for the fun
are
of it.
you here? Like, go follow
anybody else.
A monster truck page. Like, I don't, whatever it is that you're into. But like, I've never had the desire to like go follow someone for what it is they do and then be mad at the content in which they post. When I see something that is repeatedly posted by someone that I don't like, I go unfollow, and then I continue on with my life. What I don't do is, hey, monster truck owner, stop posting monster truck videos.
I hate these monster trucks. How dare you? You know what I also do? If I see something that I don't like and I want to talk shit about it, I screenshot it and I send it in my group chat like a normal person.
Talk about people behind their back like a normal person.
We used to be a country. And now we're losing recipes. We've lost the plot. Why are you talking shit about me to me?
Why aren't you talking about my back like a normal person and then being nice to me to my face? When did that go away?
We lost it. And
that was the plot.
It kills me when I see influencers, or it's usually influencers, and I really feel like it's the younger crowd, because the old age girls like me, we're not fucking with it. But the younger crowd, they'll be like, you guys have been leaving me comments that you hate my haircut, so today I'm getting my hair changed. What? If you tell me that you don't like something, did you see my post the other day with the dress that I posted originally a couple months ago? And I got so many comments from people. They were talking about it on Reddit. This dress does nothing for her. It's so unflattering. I hate this dress. Guess what I did? I wore the dress the fuck again. And I posted it the fuck again. Because it's my dress. And you're not going to tell me what to wear.
It's a weird thing. The wearing a lot of makeup or too much makeup, or you don't need the makeup thing, is also strange to me, because why can't I enjoy makeup?
Because
it's not for you.
Yes.
It's for me.
Yes.
If I change my hair, it's not for you. If I put on a dress, it's not for you. And then people will say, well, you're sharing things. To your point, I'm sharing things with my following.
Yes.
And if you don't like it, you are not obligated to share that. But I think there is like obviously the internet is a very wild place where a lot of wild things happen. And, everyone has their day or days
Scary.
or weeks on the internet. And it can be unpleasant.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there is also, well, I don't think, there is this permeating idea in society that everyone needs to be humble. And everyone needs to be humbled.
Mm-hmm.
And that we have to see like the scars and we have to all be naked in front of each other in order for anyone to accept that then you can have some success.
Yeah.
It's not, we don't like for people to just live their lives and be unfettered.
Yeah, but then people get the success and then you drag them for posting the success. Like people will buy their first house or like buy a Chanel bag and they're like, I liked her better when she didn't have anything and was struggling like the rest of us. Do you not follow and support people in hopes that they grow and can become who they've always wanted to become?
Well, it's a crabs in a barrel type of mentality. Like you can do good, but not too good.
Yeah.
You can have success, but not too much success.
Mm-hmm.
You can be in spaces, but not take up too much space.
Yep.
There's always a limit on what people would like to see from others.
Yeah.
And when you are not like that, it is a mentality that is impossible to understand.
Yeah.
Your success, we are in the same business space, not exactly in the same lane, but we're in the same business space. Your success does not in any way take away from my success.
No.
You getting an endorsement deal does not in any way take away from my ability to pay my bills. Like there's no correlation, causation here.
And I root for you every single time.
Of course, because what other way is there to live?
I don't get it.
And comparison is actually, I think maybe that might be part of it. Because I think sometimes not that I'm trying to understand this mentality, but to encourage people to try and get out of, I guess, this experience. Mm-hmm. Comparison is the thief of joy, right? And I don't know, when did you learn that in the business? Because I think very early in the business, I had to learn that comparing my ladder, my, speed of success, my money, my opportunities, all of those things to other people, even people who weren't necessarily like in my lane, was just constantly taking away from my ability, one, to be present in whatever it was I was doing at that moment. But it makes it impossible for you to be happy. Yeah. Because you're just constantly like, I deserve that, and I wanted that job, and I need to do this, and I'm not here yet. And there's, obviously a bit of aspiration kind of always has that anxiety. Yeah. But to the point where you cannot enjoy anything.
Yeah. I think I was talking to my sister and my therapist about this recently. Growing up with a mother, my mom's Jamaican. She's also an Aries. So she doesn't fuck around. Mm-hmm. And she is here to win constantly. So growing up with a mom who there's nothing that her kids can't do. We are the best. We are the brightest. We are the prettiest. We are the kindest. We are all of those things. So anytime there was an audition or something that I wanted, or any show that she will watch on TV ever, it could be something that is so far away from anything that I remotely am qualified to do, she will be like, you should be on this. I'm watching this such and such a show and I'm just trying to figure out who this host even is. You should be on this. I'm watching Oprah. You could be Oprah. So in my mind, when I'm a young host, I started hosting at 19 years old. I had my big break 7 years later when I got Catfish. Mm-hmm. And I literally, that whole time, from the second I decided I wanted to be a TV host, was like, I should be Oprah. Right. That's delusional. That's not.
But you have to be delusional.
You have to be delusional. But there's a limit. Right. So I think I realized when I was like 20, 22, and I'm comparing, like, why hasn't this happened for me yet? And especially when I turned 25 and I hit that quarter century life crisis, which hit me like 25
is a big year.
Ooh-wee. It was a sad year for me. A bottle of wine did not go 3 days in my house. Okay? She was empty by day 3. I think that period of time where I was like waiting for that moment to happen for me. Yeah. I was comparing myself to everything that I saw. Like, why can't I be on there? Why is that not happening for me? But it took me taking that time to realize like I wasn't ready. Even if I would have gotten the opportunity, I would have ruined it because I was never ready for it.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I mean, I had the same delusions. And actually, a similar mother, she still does that. She's like, excuse me.
Yeah.
Who is this person?
Yes.
Why aren't you doing this? Like,
Yes.
I literally don't cover cricket, Mom.
Yeah.
Well, you could learn. Like,
oh,
all right.
My mom used to literally be on my ass about the fact that I was not a sports broadcaster. Every single day, she would be like, "What? I just don't get it. All your sisters are into sports. Your sisters are athletes. I mean, you were a cheerleader. That you should know sports. I'm such a big football fan. How are you not a big football fan?" I'm like, "Girl, sports is not my gig. I'm not meant to be in sports." And she'd be like, "But if you would have learned, you would have.
You just apply yourself."
I am good.
But you were delusional, and
Yes.
you need that delusion to be successful. You have to
Yes.
believe that you can be Oprah, even if you are not going to be Oprah when you start.
Yes.
But that is a thing that you learn. But
Yeah.
when I talk about being humble, like that's what I don't ever want to let go of.
Mm-hmm.
And it irritates people when I say that, like, I don't believe in being humble. I'm humble before God,
Mm-hmm.
and you're not God. So that's it. Like,
Yes.
if you didn't create the universe, you can
Yeah.
get the fuck out of my face.
Yes.
Because you are a human
Yeah.
that is flawed and disgusting, just like the rest of us.
Mhm.
And I'm not about to bend the knee
Yeah.
for nobody,
Yeah.
okay? I am Khaleesi,
Period.
bender of knees, okay? Get
First of her name.
The first of her name. Get the fuck out of my face. So I'm glad you brought up catfish.
Yes.
I am fascinated with the concept of catfishing, and I've always wanted to talk to you about this doing the show because I'm so conflicted.
Mm-hmm.
And you've hosting the show have seen so many different stories.
Everything, girl.
You've seen everything. And every time the word catfish is mentioned in a room,
Mhm.
everyone gets this bravado about them. I could never be catfished.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
it
yeah.
could never happen to me.
They-
I would
they
just
do
make
that.
them FaceTime me.
And then there's that one person that takes me to the side and says, "I was catfished once."
Girl,
I'm like,
I
and
think-
that's okay.
I think I could be catfished. Like, I'm not being catfished
How do you
right
know
now.
that you've never been catfished?
I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know. I've been scammed before. So
Well,
it's on the board. I think so. This is my conflict with it. There's a lot of elements to being catfished, right? There's an epidemic of loneliness.
yes.
There's a detachment of human interaction,
Yep.
like in person. We are all digital, and people are scamming for money.
Yeah.
And people are scamming for affection. And there's all these like, creepy, deceptive elements of it. And then you have people who are not even the same gender, let alone the same person. And watching the Manti Te'o documentary,
Mm-hmm.
and I was working in sports when that happened. And I remember covering that story. And
Yeah.
then watching the documentary, I was like, wow,
Yeah.
I feel so different.
Did it change your point of view?
It did because, one, I think we were very cruel.
Yeah.
And while I don't give a fuck about anyone and everyone can fuck off and die,
Yeah.
I do think that
That's very Capricorn of you.
I do think that I like to, in Capricorn fashion, always get better. Always learn, always get better. Fuck off everybody, but I personally like to educate myself,
Yeah.
learn things.
When you're introduced with new information,
Apply
you can
it.
have- yeah, exactly.
Apply it and let it shift your perspective. And I truly felt horrible for him. I felt he was the victim throughout all of it.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel the like, how could you about it at all? Because I followed every step of how he got to that point.
Yeah.
And there was a human vulnerability that I could understand.
Yeah.
And I think we, at that time when that happened, we all were still like not even understanding the concept of catfish.
It was new
It was new.
because the documentary had just come out right before that happened. And I actually didn't know about this story. I knew he was catfish, and I had watched the documentary, and I watched the series as soon as it came out because I was a huge fan immediately. But I didn't understand it. I didn't even understand the documentary the way that I do now. I rewatched it during COVID, and I was like, oh my God, like this shit is scary. And then when I watched that documentary, the Manti Te'o documentary, I was like, every single piece of it, it was like red flag for me. Like I was seeing it happen as it went. I was like, I would have caught that. But that's our view now.
Mm-hmm.
Hindsight is 20/20. At the time, you didn't have that.
But also you and who we are in certain places in life, of course, right? Like you are a public figure now.
Mm-hmm.
You and I don't just randomly start talking to people on the internet that we don't know.
Shit, I did when I was underage.
Right.
Back in chat room days, of course.
Of course, in chat room.
We were all catfishing. Everyone was catfishing.
Who the fuck let us in chat rooms?
I have no idea.
You know what?
My mom knew the thing. What? I was doing some weird shit.
The fuck said you children can tap, 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 share your age, name, location, sex on the internet.
I was always
with
21.
Strangers in chat rooms.
Female Hollywood.
Listen.
Everyone has catfished at least once.
Yeah.
In a chat room, nobody put their real age and location on there.
Listen, chat rooms were an insane concept that I'm so glad we've moved on from as a society because, wow, dangerous.
Yes.
Stranger, fucking danger.
1000%.
Did you always feel bad for the person that was catfished?
No.
Why?
Because sometimes, here's the thing. I go into, or before I left the show, I went into every single episode with a certain level of compassion. You start telling me things and I'm like, okay, what's not clicking?
Like what?
The amount of money that people have sent without any kind of basic things. A phone call. You haven't heard this person's voice, but you sent them $10,000? Something's off. And so I still try to have a certain level of compassion, but there have been a few times that we meet the catfish, and originally I was on the hopeful side, which is the person that we're helping. Mm-hmm. But then I meet the catfish and they start talking and I switch, and now I'm on the catfish's side because why did you say that to them? They sent you a picture of them, of the real them. Mm-hmm. You said that they were ugly. And so then they said, oh, just kidding. It's actually Bella Hadid. It's your fault.
Actually, just kidding. I'm a supermodel. I was just checking to see if you were going to like my personality.
And then you continue to keep talking to that person? First of all, you're mean. Secondly, I get it, but that's mean. And then also, you really thought you were talking to Bella Hadid? From a fake Facebook page because her management won't let her have access to her Instagram?
You saw the woman that sent Brad Pitt her...
Yes.
Yeah. So those people, it's tough for me. Mm-hmm. It's tough for me to really feel compassion. Brad Pitt has repeatedly said he does not have social media.
Yeah.
You are not sending Brad Pitt money to the hospital.
You would be shocked how many people email me. I get emails still to this day from people with their stories, long stories, receipts after receipts after receipt. I know that I'm talking to this person. We've been talking for this long. I am 100% sure that it's them.
What is the hesitation with the FaceTimes? Because obviously that's the number one thing.
Yes.
Why don't you just video call?
Yes.
And if this person refuses to video call, why do you keep talking to them?
Yes.
So what have you found was through doing those stories that was the hesitation with it?
I think, well, obviously the hesitation on the catfish's side is I'm not the person.
Well, no. I'm saying from the hopeful side.
From the hopeful side, I think that people are willing to latch on to anything that feels like something, and sometimes something is better than nothing. So if I'm asking you to FaceTime and you're not, but I've been talking to you for 3 months and you're the only connection that I have, and I don't have any friends, and my dog just passed away, and my mom just moved across the country with her new boyfriend, and I have nothing else going for me here, but you texting me every single day at 10 a.m. saying good morning and then talking on the phone all night until the wee hours of the night does something for me, I would rather have that than have nothing. And that's where my compassion comes from. It's I can't ever imagine being in that person's shoes.
Right.
I think the closest that we got to that was COVID, feeling that detachment from human interaction, from society.
Yeah.
And having a little something, you know, being able to talk to your friend from 6 feet away in the park felt like something. And that's why even still to this day, like, we're still recovering from COVID. Like, we're out of COVID times, quote unquote. I don't know. It could still be a pandemic for all I fucking know. We're never going to know with this administration now. So we could be in a new pandemic right now. There's a new strain. Just kidding. Allegedly. But I think we at the time when I was still doing Catfish, we were still getting episodes, people writing in saying that they've been talking since COVID. And they were talking for 2 years when we were on lockdown, and then shit started to open up. And, well, I actually don't have the money anymore. I got the stimulus, but I don't have the money to come and see you. Okay, we'll keep talking. But now we're on year 4 or 5.
I mean, 4 or 5 years, like,
yeah,
I don't know. It's really an interesting phenomenon because we all know that, like, the loneliness thing is a real thing.
Yes.
And the internet, while for most people it has been around for young people, it's been around for their whole lives. It has not been around forever. And so this is a new world still with the internet and connecting with people, and humans need other human contact.
Yeah.
We need physical touch. We need these things in order to just be healthy and move around the world with, like, actual functionality.
Yeah.
So the internet does not replace that.
Yeah.
And I think that it's just such an interesting phenomenon. I think it's part of the reason why people are so miserable and mean. I think why you get comments about your makeup from user 6578.
And these parasocial relationships. Like, people really think that they know people. But the thing that I try to get across to people is you have no fucking idea who people are. It's very scary, but I'm a Scorpio, so, like, my mind goes there. But you don't know if anything that I've said to you for the past 15 minutes is true. I could have lied about every single thing that I just said.
Yeah.
You're trusting that I'm telling you the truth because that is human nature.
Yeah, we default to the truth.
But I could be lying.
We default to the truth. It's a great book, Malcolm Gladwell, Talking to Strangers. Highly recommend. But you are telling the truth.
I am.
No. It is because people feel an attachment and an ownership over others.
Yeah.
Which is a good segue to your podcast relationship.
Hey.
And you not sharing publicly your relationship.
Yes. You know him.
Which, yes I do. But I'm special.
Yes.
I'm special. But that is, like, the fact that I know who you're in a relationship with, and you share that with certain people who you know are not going to say anything about it.
Yeah, I mean, I also share when I see strangers that listen to the podcast and they're like, we can't wait to meet Wizard Kelly. I will show them his picture. My man is fine. I just don't want to post him on the internet.
And you shouldn't.
Exactly.
Can confirm he exists.
Yes.
Not a catfish.
Not a catfish.
But I adamantly agree with this. And I don't think it's for everyone.
Yeah.
And this is also, like, a highly debated conversation on the internet because it's like, okay, who and when do you share your partner? And I think if you're a public figure, it's just a completely different conversation.
Yes.
Like, if you and your partner are not public figures, and not in your brains, but, like, really actually, like, you are not public figures, do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
It doesn't, and I mean this with respect, it doesn't matter. You're not dealing with the pushback, you're not dealing with the comments, you're not dealing with the added elements that someone who is in the public space deals with when they share their partner.
Yeah.
Which is why I say I will not be in a public relationship ever again. I'm not even posting the elbow. Like, you can just...
I post the earlobe. So I think I've posted eyebrow. Every single time I post a new body part, I get a message like,
we've got a shoulder.
New body part unlock. We got a top lip. I'm like, yeah, that's
we
all
get
you
a wrist. We get some
Take
finger
what you
holds.
can get.
Yeah. I'm not even going that far. I think if I got remarried, I might do, like, a ring.
Hands.
You know, like ring hands.
They'll
like,
find them from the hands, girl. Trust me.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. They match the hands. I just don't. I've been in public relationships and I don't fucking feel like dealing with it.
Yeah. That's how I felt. I mean, I wasn't even in... I've, first and foremost, never been in a relationship with a public figure ever in my life. It's just not something that's ever interested me. I did get a text earlier today asking me who from the Eagles am I dating. I'm like, nobody.
A Super Bowl winner.
I've never dated an athlete. Like, I posted a video of me getting ready for the Eagles Day parade because my man is from Philly and loves the Eagles, and people took that and ran with it, and they were like, oh my God, she's dating.
Again, you don't know people. Girl,
If I was dating an Eagles player, do you think that I would be out here just like
a year ago
living life? No, bitch. I would be in a mansion, multi-billion dollars. I would be dressed down, Chanel head to toe.
A wag, honey.
I would be a full-on wag.
Taking
full advantage of his cash.
Furs.
But I've
gowns,
never
beautiful gowns.
Never taken the opportunity.
I was talking to a girlfriend of mine last year, and she was like, you know who the streets have you dating now? I'm like, oh, the streets, they always get it right.
Yeah. love when they start thinking
who. And she says this man's name, and I'm like, I don't know if I've ever spoken to this person. I've certainly never met them in person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we've never been in the same, up until this point, I'd never been in the same room together. But, like, at least they were kind enough to, like, I wasn't just fucking him. Like, it was my man.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, we go together. We have a whole relationship.
Was he cute?
Oh, he's fine.
Oh, that's good.
Which I also appreciated.
Yeah.
But, like, would never, have never, did never, not gonna never.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm like, we're in a whole relationship?
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, you know, da-da-da-da.
Like, wow, I hope it's going well.
I was like, oh, that's fun for me. And ironically, that night was the first night that I was ever in the same room. Still didn't talk, but like in the same room at a massive event with, like, you know, hundreds of other people, of course. But yeah, that's what people do. Connect the dots on imaginations.
People love
breadcrumbs
to take anything and sprint off into the sunset with it. And I'm just like,
don't they deserve that, though? Isn't life horrible? Shouldn't they just create their own realities?
You can.
We're all living in our own realities.
Do it with yourself in your life.
Put it in your journal.
Why would you have me out here, like, getting cheated on by some Eagles player? In your mind, if you're thinking that this is my fantasy, why would you, like, why can't I be with somebody wholesome? You know? Why is
the whole Eagles roster cheating?
I'm sorry. Listen, not Jalen. Love him. I'm very excited for this wedding, actually. That's a whole other thing. They're my first family right now. I'm trying to cling on to any happiness that I can get. Anyway, I decided after my last relationship, I was posting all the time. Mm-hmm. Posting when things were good and posting when things were really fucking bad.
As you have to.
As you have to. Because what does it mean to Instagram if I don't post for Valentine's Day?
Correct.
Even though we're full on beefing, like, we're not even speaking, but I have to post. If I don't post, then, like, what does that mean? If he doesn't post me, then what does that mean? I did not want to even go there. This relationship is the healthiest, happiest relationship that I've ever been in my life. This man is my husband. I don't give a fuck what the internet thinks. I don't give a fuck if I don't post him for 5 days. We're still good. That is my man. That is my best friend. I don't need to do anything for the validation of what Instagram thinks or user 77555. I don't give a shit. I don't care. And it's so sacred to me. It's so special to me. Anything that I choose to share is a privilege. It's not a right. I think that the internet has people very confused, especially when it comes to public figures. They think that they're entitled to every single piece of your life, and there are a great amount of people, I don't want to discount them, who want to share in your joy with you. But I also noticed after getting out of my last relationship, announcing it, I announced it on my podcast because I had started the podcast in a relationship. Then I got out of a relationship. I'm like, holy shit, how am I going to explain this to all my listeners? Like, I was faking like everything was good just a couple months ago, and now we're broken up. Like, how am I going to do that? But I knew that I had to do that because they trust me. How are they going to trust me if I'm lying to them? Like, I want them to share in this journey with me of, like, feeling like shit, like literally feeling like I'm going to go to the hospital because I feel crazy. And then getting my glow up. And then dating again. Like I wanted to be able to share all those things. So when I announced it, I was shocked at the amount of messages that I was getting from women like, no, you guys were everything to me. You guys gave me hope. I'm like, this gave you hope? Girl, you're going to need to write that down in your diary because this shit is not cute.
But that's what it is. Like, that is the projection of it. That is what I think when I talk about this, people are like, oh, well, like it's not a secret.
Yeah.
Your relationship is not a secret.
No.
It's private. There is a difference.
Yes.
You're not moving in secret. You're moving in privacy.
And we're out all the time together.
Right, exactly.
Always.
That's like, and again, I know.
Yes.
Like,
we came to your birthday party.
These are human people.
We'd be out and about together all
the time.
It's
not a secret. It's private. And there's a big difference. And that part of it is what bothered me about it is when you and to be clear, when people post their relationships or post their children or post their homes, like, God bless you. Like, enjoy the internet and do whatever you want to do. I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
Whatever works for you.
Yes.
I'm literally not judging. It's not my life. It doesn't matter. I'm telling you what I want to do.
Yeah.
And what my experience has been. And when you are going through things in relationships, which you will.
Yes.
If you have already started a cadence on social media, if you don't follow that cadence, even people who are in your life, like even people that know you, like will hit, like people would hit me like, oh, like, is everything okay? I'm like, what are you fucking talking about?
You guys haven't posted in like,
and they're like, oh, well, I just, you like haven't seen him on social media. I'm like, it's been 8 days.
Yeah. Sorry.
The last time
you didn't post him for his birthday. Oh, I'm sorry. I was busy baking a fucking cake from scratch.
What?
Feeding it to him in lingerie. Sorry I didn't post about it. I didn't actually do that ever.
I was about to say.
I've never done that.
Good for you.
I've never
That's
done
a good. That's
Maybe
a good
I should,
plan.
but he's good. We're fine. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't have to post it.
I'm not doing all that. So there's 0% chance of doing. I will buy a cake.
Yes. Oh, many custom cakes. And
Are
I
you
would
a
love to
lingerie
post
girly
them.
though?
You said what?
Are you a lingerie girly?
No. And guess what? My man's not a lingerie man. He doesn't give a shit. It's even better.
I don't know if. I mean, I guess like we should ask men.
I've asked him.
Are men still lingerie people?
Some are, but he's like, why would I care? You're going to get naked. That is what I'm excited about.
I haven't come across a lot of lingerie men.
Maybe we're losing
losing
recipes.
I have a lot of lingerie.
Yeah, but I'm not wearing that shit.
Well, but you just put it on to take it off.
That's what I'm saying.
But it's the performance.
It's a performance. I'm tired of being performative.
You're
Take me as I am.
Scorpio.
Yeah, and I'm doing what I need to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't need to put on gift wrap in order to get that done.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm doing nothing. Okay, I'm a Capricorn. I'm here. Oh. You're welcome.
Take me as I am.
I am the gift. I'm not doing anything.
That's what I'm saying.
You're not getting a heel. Okay, you're getting nothing. But I'm also a naked girly, so I don't like. I sleep naked. My house is a naked house. Like if you come visit me, my butt has been on that seat. Okay? Yeah, like it's just you're just gonna have to accept that. All right, and other body parts as well.
Yes.
So I'm living life that way, but. Yeah, I don't know. I do find that I don't know. It's maybe men are just not interested in lingerie anymore.
He's just like, the thought of like me caring if my woman is like wearing lingerie for me when I get home is
not every night.
Not every night. Not really
not ever.
I don't have to do that anymore. I did it. I did it for a second. I don't even know if I set that precedent, honestly. I think I did that when I was like younger and cared about
Yeah.
When
I was younger, I was definitely. That's why I have so much of it.
Yeah,
that it's just getting dusty.
Now, it's not comfortable. It doesn't make me feel good.
But you just put so it doesn't make you feel good.
No,
and I think that's really what it is. Like it has to be a motivating factor to get yourself into all these straps.
Yes.
And then get out of the straps quickly.
It's also just like so complicated. And like you know how to put it on, but they might not know how to take it off. There's like
right. Like so the corsets.
It's a puzzle. There's
all these things,
bips and bobs. I'm not trying to get all that. It's now I'm losing. Now I'm dry.
Are you a romantic girly though?
Yeah, I'm a lover girl. I really am. I have a hard exterior.
Mm-hmm.
But I love love so much. And I love when other people are experiencing love too. I am very strict though. I'm very strict with my love.
In what way?
I've realized, I actually learned this from my trainer because I was like, I want to be loved unconditionally. And he was like, my trainer's like my big brother. He's the only reason why I'm in a relationship now, because your girl was cuckoo bananas and had to like,
he had to have some real talks with you.
Some big brother conversations. And he was like, well, I don't know about you, but my love comes with conditions. And I was like, well, is that the same thing as like like if I say like, oh, I love you unconditionally, he's like, my love comes with conditions.
I agree with him.
You can love me and I can love you under the condition that you treat me well.
Mm-hmm.
You do right by me. You're faithful to me. You talk to me nice. You're good to all of my family and friends. That you care about me, my day. Like you help me build things, like whether it be career, success, whatever. It's conditional to love me. And I said, oh shit. Because I had never thought of it that way before. We're taught to love unconditionally,
I think the idea of unconditional love is applicable to children, to parents, and even in that regard, I mean, my experience in life, I think, well, I'll speak from my experience in life. I don't have a relationship with my father, so I've from my earliest memories understood there was not love there. Even if I have unconditional love with my mother. So to me, love is absolutely conditional.
Yes.
I don't care if you're my family. I don't care how long we've been friends. I don't care if you're my husband. If you are not loving me the way that I'm supposed to be loved, and this is not a season we're going through. This is not a patch. This is not a mental health situation. This is who you are.
You're out.
You're why? Huh?
I don't
Absolutely
believe in
conditioned.
I don't believe in keeping anybody. I tell everybody, I don't care if it's your grandma. Cut that bitch off.
Oh no, I'm going to cut people off.
Kendrick said, I'll cut my grandma off if she don't see it how I see it. I said, absolutely, yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I love my grandma dearly. But we always saw eye to eye, so it was fine.
Yes.
But yeah, I think you absolutely have to love conditionally. And then people will say, okay, well, you don't have kids, so you don't know. I'm not having kids, so I don't know. And I don't fucking care. Okay. I have nieces and nephews, and I will kill you and your whole family if you go anywhere near them.
1000%.
I think that's as close to unconditional love as I will get in this lifetime. But I totally agree with your trainer. Like love in the scope of, let's just keep it to relationship. Which, by the way, just while it's in my brain, she has the best merch.
Thank
you. You have to.
Thank you. We're not selling it right now, but we're going to be selling it again soon.
So I have a crew hoodie, or not crew, hoodie, a crew sweatshirt.
Yeah.
That says, shout out to my therapist.
That's
and it's
my
so
favorite.
good.
That was one of my best ideas.
It was really, really good.
We have some new stuff. We have some new plans.
Okay. So when you run the merch back, I will go check that out. But keeping to the theme of a relationship, though, he's right. I think in the scope of a interpersonal relationship with a partner, love is conditional.
Yes. You don't even love your friends unconditionally. I'm sorry.
No.
Like, I've cut off many a friend in my life. So
you outgrow people.
You outgrow people. And like the person, even when I think back to relationships, romantic relationships where I loved someone unconditionally, I always got fucked over. Why am I loving you unconditionally? So you can go run out here and do whatever the fuck you want to do? Absolutely not.
Well, that's an unbalanced relationship.
Yeah.
So yeah, usually people that plan on doing that look for people who still believe in that kind of love.
Yeah. So stop saying it, ladies. Stop saying that you believe in unconditional love.
Well,
even if you do, stop saying it.
But did you also, you don't need to suffer for love. And that was a pitch that we got programmed. I certainly got programmed for that. I mean, ride or die. Like, I am neither riding nor dying.
No, neither
Let
one.
me out this fucking car. And I plan on living. Okay? Let me live. And I'm not riding. I am not riding or dying. Do you want to ride with me? No. I don't want to ride with you. I will take another route.
Yeah.
Okay? Uninterested.
Yeah.
And this was put into us, Destiny's Child soldier. Like, we needed to suffer to earn this love.
Yeah.
And I know for me, it took a very, very long time to not only accept that I may be alone whilst looking for the type of love that I want, but I'm not going through shit.
Yeah.
I'm not going through shit. I'm not going through nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
You're not putting me through anything.
Nobody's stressing you out.
If you don't trust me, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
You are not putting me through something to see if I'm a stay. I'm not staying.
I'm not staying.
Let me skip to the end of the story. Not staying.
I'm out.
It ain't me.
I'm out. No, it's
Someone
so
else.
real. I mean, even I've never been married. I plan on it next year. I plan on being engaged this year. I want my eggs cracked, meaning I want to have a baby. Remember that Tiffany Pollard?
My eggs cracked.
That's the phase of life that I'm in right now.
Tiffany Pollard, #1 reality star of all time.
She is the HBIC. She is the originator. No one could ever duplicate.
No one could ever.
Everyone can try.
Bitches could never.
Bitches could never. You were never.
You
there.
weren't there.
You weren't there
for Flavor of Love.
You have no idea.
You don't know.
You have no idea.
You don't remember. You don't remember Pumpkin. Okay.
You have no idea. You don't know who Boots is. You don't fucking know Boots.
You don't know
bitch.
Delicious.
Don't know Delicious. Anyway, that was a complete aside. I don't even know what I was gonna say.
You were gonna get engaged.
Yeah, I am. Yes. And so when I get married, I always hear from people, marriage is hard. Everyone says marriage is hard. Marriage is hard. And I don't deny that there are hard parts of marriage. But I also think that a lot of the people who say marriage is hard were in marriages that they needed to be in for security reasons or convenience or what have you. I don't know a lot of people from the marriage is hard generation that married because this person was somebody that they genuinely were friends with, like someone that they genuinely loved as a human being, not just because they felt like they had to or should.
Well, societally, a lot of things have changed. And I know you're very active politically. And, you know, I think there were a lot of reasons why we're in the current political state that we're in, but part of it was women gained way too much autonomy.
Yes.
And we cannot have these bitches running the White House.
Yeah.
And
especially if they're black.
Well, they didn't want the white woman in there either.
No,
but,
yeah, you're right. White or black.
It was just bitches across the board. But
No
these broads cannot be in here. Their tampons.
Their periods.
They'll attract bears. So
God forbid.
I really believe that a part of why we're here is because women being able to choose their lives, being able to choose when they have children, being able to choose their careers, being able to ascend to the highest levels of power in the country, being able to say, I will be a married woman or I will not be a married woman, and I will still be able to pay my bills, and I will still be able to own this home, and I will still be able to own this business. And all those things were unavailable legally for women. And we were on the precipice, thanks a lot, certain group that cannot show up to vote.
I can't.
We were on the precipice of truly fundamentally establishing that level of equality.
Yeah.
Or at least taking the most major step towards that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think a lot of people were in relationships out of not of legal and financial necessity. And now that you have the opportunity still, for now, hopefully, we'll keep the red cloaks off for a little while.
Spooky.
To choose your partner and the type of life that you want to have, it changes the dynamics of things. What I will say as a divorced girly, hard conversations are something that, if I had a piece of advice, is what you should have before you enter into a legal partnership with another human being.
Yes.
Because while the romance is important and while the love is important and while the commitment and the dedication and all of those things, all of it matters, all of it is important, I believe that when you're picking a partner, you're picking a plan. And the plan could change, but how do we change the plan? And when do we change the plan if we want to change the plan?
Yeah.
And are we going to check in with each other? Are we going to make sure that when you aren't talking that I have the right to sit you down and ask you why you're not talking and what's going on with you and what kind of life are we going to live and how many kids are we going to have and what kind of job do you want to do, and if you want to change your job and start doing pottery all day long, are you going to give me a heads up before you do that? Like, you just need to have really, really hard, uncomfortable conversations before you do that. And I think that because we are in a place where you can choose and you don't have to just push through whatever those things are because you can't leave because you can't afford and you're not allowed to open a bank account. Yeah. Those are the conversations you have to have.
Yeah. And I think that those are all very important things. Like, I can't imagine not having those conversations. I think also just where I'm at in life is different. Yeah, the conversations that my boyfriend and I have now, I never even got to that point in my longest relationships. We weren't talking about those things because I also probably wasn't even thinking about those things. I wasn't even considering building a life together with someone, and that this is a contract. This is a contract. Marriage is a contract. Just
and it's
like
the craziest fucking
else.
contract you'll ever sign. As someone who signed a lot of contracts, marriage contract is not really.
You can't get out of it the same.
You can't get out of it the same. And you should have a prenup. Like,
everybody should have
everyone should have a prenup.
I'm pro.
You have to have a prenup.
We're in a different age. It's just it's a different time. And I was talking to my mom recently, actually. I told her, I know when I've been on the phone with her for too long when she starts saying shit that I don't want to hear. Whenever she starts going on a different, I'm like, how did we get here? Like, where you took a left on La Cienega and now we're in a different, now I'm in traffic with you. I can't even talk to you right now. My mom's like my best friend. But she has been, I think this relationship is also the first one that my family has been like, oh, this is the one. We love him. We want, he's a part of us. He's a part of our family. So my sisters, I have 5 of them, have been very excited. My parents have been very excited. My mom, especially, as a first-time empty nester in 32 years.
Oh, it's on.
Is looking for her next project. And that's a wedding. So she's asking me, so what's happening? What's it gonna? And I just don't. How long have you guys been together now? It's been almost 3 years. Like, okay, like, where's the ring? Like, it's time. And I'm like, lady, relax. She's like, well, you are the best. You are the most gorgeous. You are. What else is out there other than you? So within the first year, you guys should have been engaged. And I said, hold on, Savannah, slow down. First of all. The things that we have experienced together over the last 2.5 years have shown each of us who we are when we're really, really low, when we experience loss, when one of us quits our job, me. He's lost grandparents. I've seen the way that he mourns. He's seen the way that I grieve. We've seen each other through some pretty monumental life moments and transitional phases. And there are things that you can't know about someone until you experience them. Yeah. And sometimes people get into marriages and are just realizing who their partner even is because they didn't actually take the time to go through some of these things. And I'm not saying like, oh, okay, we're together. Let's experience loss together real quick. Let's both quit our jobs and see how we fare. Like, no. But there is something to that. Like, it's a growing process together.
There's an appropriate amount of life, I think, to experience with someone. And look, there's no right or wrong way to do it. You can meet someone, get married to them next month, and then be together for 40 years. Do whatever the fuck you want. But I believe getting to know who someone is in whatever capacity, to your point, you guys didn't know you were going to experience those things when you got together, but you got the gift of life to see those different parts and
we
not
moved
just
across the country
not
together.
Just ask them what they do when they're in these situations.
Yeah. What are you like when you move across the country? What are you like on moving day when the movers show up at 8 a.m. and shit's not packed?
Well, I think like who someone is fundamentally as a person is what you should be looking for. And I think sometimes when people are dating, and we're all guilty of this, we start to romanticize our partner. And we, of course, it's natural to focus on the good things in people if you're not a miserable cunt. And
I love the word cunt, by the way. We need to bring it back. Full time.
Oh yeah, I'm a big cunt user.
I love cunt.
You can't overuse it.
I like to say something's cunt. That's cunt.
Oh yes, something. But I think I'm too old.
No. What?
Yeah, I don't know. I think
You're
I've
never too old for cunt.
Have I aged out of calling something cunty?
No, never.
I don't know.
Never. As long as you're cunty, you can say
Doechii said it, and I was like, it's not going to sound as cool if I say it.
Well, everything Doechii says is cool.
It's not going to roll off the tongue the same way. But miserable cunt is a good way of describing someone who cannot enjoy their partner. And by the way, cunt is not exclusive for women either.
No.
Men are definitely cunts.
Yeah. Hello, White House. Full of cunt.
Cuntville.
The cunt house. Love it. Who knows?
We are living in Mojo Dojo House.
Yeah.
I was thinking that while just driving on the highway today. We are in the Mojo Dojo House
of hell.
Of hell chapter or scenes of Barbie. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping that we can have the resolution that Barbie had, because I don't know. I don't have a lot of hope.
We need Issa Rae.
We need Issa to come. Issa, please come and save us in America. I forget what I was talking about because we landed on cunts.
We were talking about getting to know people, enjoying your partner. Really.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you just okay, now I know what I was going to say. People romanticize their partner, and so they stop learning who they are. Mm-hmm. They are focusing so much on, the job that they have and how they interact with their friends and what kind of car they drive and their house and like stupid shit that will change.
Yeah.
And how you interact with your friends won't change, but a lot of things that are not important.
Yeah.
And the important things truly are what's inside. And that's very cliche, but it's just the fucking truth. You can have a beautiful person that is wretched on the inside.
Yep.
You can have a completely wonderful person who isn't your type. And all of those things can be true. And that doesn't mean that you should date someone who you are not attracted to just because they're a wonderful person. Mm-hmm. But you've got to find the space to focus on what is actually important and don't allow those other things to distract you from it. If your intention is obviously to have a long and healthy relationship, you got to know the person. And they're not going to be perfect.
No.
There are things you're going to have to compromise on.
There are a lot of things. With a Philly man, he is very loud. And I'm very sensitive to noise. But he says that I'm loud. But he's loud.
Like he's a loud talker?
Loud talker.
Oof.
Oh my gosh. But I love him. He's amazing. He has the loudest, biggest laugh I've ever heard out of any human being.
Loud talking, yeah.
I'm very sensitive. Very sensitive to the noise. But you know what? Love him down. He also leaves the sponge in the sink after he washes the dishes.
Like in the sink?
In the wet, dirty sink.
Is there a thing for it?
I haven't gotten one yet, but I'm finding an aesthetic. I have to find an aesthetically pleasing one.
It's sort of your fault.
It is my fault. But there are things that I do that piss him off and bother him. He doesn't tell me. I tell him more than he tells me. I actually was thinking about this the other day. Like if he told me half of the amount of times that I annoy him as I tell him when he annoys me, we could never be together. I've seen those videos on TikTok too of like husbands being like, this is what my wife told me about myself this week.
I love those.
And I'm like, but if he were to tell me.
No. We are the gift. Okay? Listen.
Perfect.
The one thing that we're not going to sell, we're going to just have to, you guys are stronger.
Yeah.
Okay, or whatever. Yay. We're gonna support in the patriarchy. Is I'm not taking out the fucking garbage.
No, I just found out where the trash room was.
You know what will turn me into Aunt Lydia? Like that.
Who?
What? Isn't that the woman's name?
Yeah, Lydia.
Yeah, mm-hmm. Aunt Lydia. Putting fucking air in my tires. Send me to Gilead. I fucking hate putting air in my goddamn tires. Where are the men?
I will pay the gas station attendant to do that.
Why am I touching this fucking tire?
I can't do that. What? I'm a lady.
I will beat the personality out of a woman before I put air in my tires. I hate doing that shit. Oh my God. That shit drains the feminism out of my body.
Yes. Quick. Why would I do that?
I am a feministless ghoul after I touch a tire.
I'm a damsel in distress. That's my boyfriend tells me often. He's like, you are the most non-traditional traditional person. Like you choose when you want to be traditional. You choose when you want to evoke these. Yes, because open this jar. That's not my responsibility.
I don't want to open jars.
Why would I do that?
I'm not touching a tire. A suitcase? No. I have to pick this suitcase up?
I leave them at the trunk.
I don't
Whatever
have
happens with them, if they don't end up in the car.
That's where they belong. They belong to the streets now. They belong to the airport.
And maybe so do I, if that's what you think. Why you didn't help me.
What is, before we get out of here, what is the one thing that you are like, that, like the tires for me, I cannot do. I fucking hate doing that. I
believe that the trash is meant for men.
Mm.
I don't believe that I am to come into contact with garbage. Why would I spend $120 on a Russian manicure. Mm-hmm. Why would I touch garbage?
It's a fair question.
When I have a man.
Yeah, when you have a man. Otherwise, you know, when we don't have men, we got to do what we got to do. But.
I was a feminist. But now I have a man. And all of it goes out the window. I'm not doing shit for myself. I don't do anything for myself anymore. But it's the best because I can trust him to do those things. Right. I've also been in relationships. I have been in relationships where I was doing all of the things. Mm-hmm. And I was steering the ship and I was making the decisions and I was making the reservations. And now with this man, as loud as he is a leader. I can take my brain out of my skull, mm-hmm. set it on a nightstand. I don't have to think about it. We walk into a place. I'm not even looking at the signs. Where do we park? I have no idea. That's not my responsibility.
It's not my job.
I have a man.
That is something that I think is an important distinction because when you are allowed to be in your feminine,
yes,
then you are a different person.
Exactly.
And
no man has ever dated this version of me.
Right. We're joking about feminism. Obviously, we're both raging feminists. Hello. Except for I'm not putting air in my tires.
No,
bring on Gilead. No but trash. When you are able to be in your feminine because you are a strong, powerful, successful, brilliant person outside of your very obvious stunning beauty, those things, those moments where you feel protected and safe mm-hmm. and taken care of allow you to be in a feminine traditional space.
Yes.
And we get into these arguments a lot on TikTok, a lot on social media about like traditional women and blah, blah, blah. You're not a traditional man.
No. Hello. Women need to submit to you.
To what?
To you?
What bill are you paying? What house are you building?
I'm sorry.
Why aren't you lost at sea?
And why are you in a basement in the dark?
Men used to start renaissances. Which play have you written?
What are you doing? What are you doing to make me submit to you?
What street have you paved?
I have investments. I have a mortgage. I have a full-on career. And I'm fine. What the fuck are you giving me?
But what a man will give you is what you have.
Exactly.
And that is a safe space. Yes. And when you have that, you will fall into the feminine.
Yes.
And there is a masculine side to you
mm-hmm.
that doesn't mean that you are a man and that there's no space for men. Da,
yeah.
da, da. The masculine and feminine, when we're running out of time to break all of this down for everyone, is not men and women.
Yes.
Masculine and feminine, there are feminine things that men do that they must do in order to be functional humans and not serial killers.
And if you don't want to do those things, maybe you don't need to be in a relationship with a woman.
Or you should seek therapy immediately.
Please.
To keep yourself...
Call your mom,
out the bing.
I don't know. Forgive her.
Yes. I could do this with you for the next 2 hours, but too. I love hanging out with you. We need to do this more often when we don't have microphones, and then we can spill a little more tea.
Yeah.
But actually, we spilled lots of tea today.
We spilled lots of tea,
and that's the point because it's too personal. We're
never be too personal with you, girl.
Make sure you check out Kamie's podcast, Relationship. It is a great podcast, which has great guests and great merch. Releases new episodes every Friday, and you can listen wherever you get your podcasts. Is there anywhere else? Well, obviously, you have to follow her on social media. TikTok, great follow.
At Kamie Crawford on everything.
Yes. Is there anything coming up that you would like to plug?
Just, my plot for world domination. Mm-hmm. That's always in the
pinky in the brain.
It's always working. Yeah, always working on that. I just got a new planner, so watch out.
So it's on. Love you, babe. Thank you so much for coming by. Make sure that you follow her on social, and we'll catch you next time. All right, guys, it's time for Never Too Personal. If you want to send in your questions, send it to twopersonalpodcast@gmail.com, or on Sundays, we post our prompt on IG, Too Personal Show. Make sure that you follow. This question this week is, how do I be more emotional with my wife? Okay, so I think in general, this is a good question for me because I struggle with being emotional with people these days. I have been through a lot. I have a lot of PTSD. I have major trust issues. I find it very, very difficult and even triggering to be vulnerable with people. And I'm not a man, obviously. So, well, I guess, I'm not a man. So, no amount of surgery. I'm not a man. I don't try to speak from a man's perspective. But from a woman's perspective, I find that a lot of men struggle with that, with finding ways to tap into their emotion, because we don't give a lot of space for men in society to be emotional. We tell men not to cry. We tell little boys not to cry. We don't encourage men to express themselves. And while I don't think that's an excuse for men, I do realize that that's a reality that we've created. So I get it. I think you start small. I think you start with having a conversation about something that maybe makes you a little uncomfortable, but doesn't make you feel completely unsafe. And let her know that you want to be more emotional with her, but it's going to be a process, and you want to, dip your toe in the pool as opposed to running and doing a cannonball, which I don't recommend, especially from the emotional side of things. It can really spiral. So start small. Start with something that you feel comfortable talking, a little uncomfortable talking about, but isn't going to overwhelm you. And then see how those conversations go and build on that. When it comes to being emotional, it's a vulnerability. It's an expression of something that can make you feel very exposed. And I know it's something that I don't particularly enjoy because I've had really bad experiences with that. But this is your wife and that's your partner, and you should feel the safest, especially emotionally, with that person. So start small, a little small topic that makes you uncomfortable, but that you think you could talk about without, feeling overwhelmed, and build on it from there. But great question. Love that. Also, obviously, I'm a big advocate of therapy and speaking to professionals. So I think that's a good place to start too if you haven't already done that. Send in your questions to twopersonalpodcast@gmail.com. We love hearing from you guys. Thanks so much to Kamie for joining us this week, and we'll catch you next week.